Good, happy Thursday afternoon. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on RK Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday afternoon, so let's get started right now. First up, Manchester police say man turns himself in to police in connection with child sex imaging case. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Manchester man is facing 10 counts of possession of child sexual abuse images. Police say the investigation into 68-year-old Wayne Stevens began earlier this year when they received a cyber tip. He turned himself in on Tuesday.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Londonderry Budget Committee member accused of possession of child sex abuse image resigns. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A member of the Londonderry Budget Committee has now resigned after being accused of possessing child sex abuse images. Timothy Sykman was arrested last month on 15 felony counts. Earlier this week, the Londonderry Town Council accepted his resignation, effective immediately. The committee is now working to fill that vacancy.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire native now living in Maui says fires are getting closer to his home. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At Domino's, you can get more than just amazing, delicious pizza. There's also lava cakes, bread bites, and more.
Some breaking news on the wildfires burning through the Hawaiian island of Maui right now. At least 36 people are now dead. We heard that overnight. More than 270 buildings are destroyed or damaged because of the flames here. The fires continue to burn now for a third day. Some people have been forced to jump into the ocean just to escape the flames. Many locals are now out of their homes, and it's unclear when they can return.
So we thought we were okay, but then the wind came, the gas stations blew up, everything caught fire by the brush, and then we just had to evacuate.
Very quickly, local fire officials say the wildfires have reduced much of the historic town of Lahaina to ash. The community is a popular tourist spot, but travelers are being discouraged from going to Maui right now. And News 9 spoke with a New Hampshire man who moved to Hawaii from Lebanon last December. He says the fires are getting closer to his house.
Which got really a lot of damage. Would be like going to the White Mountains, and right now you can only leave that town. Just imagine, like in Lincoln, you're like, nope, and all the police turn you around, and there's only one main road going over to Lahaina.
Yeah, Peck says he learned about the wildfires after waking up late one night to the smell of smoke. He and his family are now prepared to evacuate if they have to.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Woman seriously injured during hike on Mount Madison Trail. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A woman from Canada is waking up in a New Hampshire hospital after severely injuring her leg on Mount Madison. So Fish and Game say the 54-year-old was hiking the Daniel Webster Scout Trail when she slipped and fell from a rock just after noon yesterday. Multiple agencies responded, including a helicopter from the Army National Guard. Officials do say that woman is expected to recover.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Amira Gas is recalling several potential compromised grill tank cylinders. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Expedia members get member prices and rewards for future trips.
A warning this morning to AmeriGas customers. The company is recalling several of its grill tanks. So this applies to 490 total tanks that could spring a leak if disconnected from the grill, but only if you forget to close the barbecue tank. According to AmeriGas, the grill tanks were sold between July 27th and August 2nd. It is marked on the cylinder with the stamp EVAS M0859.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Price Chopper in Market 32 recalling corner-to-corner pizzas. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Price Chopper and Market 32 are recalling pizzas over concerns they could contain fragments of a conveyor belt. The impacted corner-to-corner pizzas were manufactured on July 2nd. They can be returned for a full refund. There are no Market 32 stores in New Hampshire, but there are Price Choppers in Keene, Lincoln, and West Lebanon.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire woman, her child, released unharmed after kidnapping in Haiti. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
She works as a nurse for El Roy, Haiti, and in a statement just released a little while ago, that group thanked the security group and U.S. law enforcement and State Department members who helped during the 13 days that Alex was held captive. It also thanked what it says are thousands of people who risked their lives to demand the release of Alex and her daughter. In Ossipee, where Alex went to school, people have been doing a 24-hour prayer chain, signing up for 15-minute slots to pray.
During that 15 minutes, you just prayed for Alex and for her daughter, prayed for their safety and for the release. So our goal was just to have a constant a constant stream of prayer to the Lord for her safety and for her release.
People with experience in cases like this say foreign visitors are often high-profile targets because criminals think with the resources to travel, there will come more money. One retired FBI agent says most kidnappers don't want to hurt anybody.
The goal of most of these kidnappers is not to harm or kill the kidnappees, the people who have been kidnapped. It is to get a ransom back.
You can hear more from that retired agent on GMA3 starting at 1 o'clock here on WMUR.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 5K race set for Thursday in Manchester. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Uniforms don't define a man, but they do tell a story. Ron DeSantis wore an electrician's assistant uniform.
Let's take a live look outside in Manchester right now, where thousands of runners will gather in a few hours for New Hampshire's biggest road race. Many familiar faces at WMUR know a thing or two about this race, including Sean McDonald, who's been running it for years, and he always crosses the finish line in style, giving us a memorable moment. The 30th annual Delta Dental Elliott Corporate 5K will kick off at 6 o'clock. In the 6 o'clock hour, we're going to be watching that probably live during our 6 o'clock news tonight, Matt.
Oh, and look at Sean even throwing the little guitar solo there at the end.
Oh, he's always got to look at that. He always has something for the camera.
He knows how to finish a race in style.
We're going way back there with the sunglasses.
Right?
I love it.
Wow, look at that young hot shot there. Yeah, runners tonight might be dealing with a little bit of wet weather, Gene. This incoming system's going to bring some showers and storms. Maybe not the worst thing to keep them a little bit cool, but that thunderstorm chance is what we'll have to be watching through this evening.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report, and expect some traffic delays in the city of Manchester this evening. Man arrested in Massachusetts charged with murdering mother in Danville, New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Yes, and that's what he's being held on here in Massachusetts, Gene, is that fugitive from justice warrant out of New Hampshire. Now, the hearing is scheduled for this morning, but as of 4 minutes ago, Coe had yet to appear in Massachusetts courtroom. Now, we're told, however, I did speak to the assistant county DA who's handling this, the district attorney for Suffolk County. She says that he did sign his waiver of extradition. When 20-year-old James Coe is brought back to New Hampshire, he will face a charge of second-degree murder. According to the New Hampshire Attorney General's office, 59-year-old Denise D'Amato Coe was found shot to death in her home on Back Road a week ago. Now, in addition to the second-degree murder charge, Coe is also charged with falsifying physical evidence for allegedly removing the rifle that he shot his mother with multiple times. Now, the news of the arrest yesterday came as good news for the neighbors who said they'd been on edge, wondering exactly what had happened in that home. Now, what will happen now that he has signed his waiver of extradition? We are told that an arbitrary date will be set for 10 days from now, that New Hampshire will not be back down here today to pick him up. However, if they are able to get there sooner than that 10 days, he will make an appearance in a Massachusetts courtroom again and then be brought back to New Hampshire to face the murder and other charges. Reporting live in Chelsea, Massachusetts, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Senator Diana Ferencz briefly hospitalized after fall. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I was diagnosed with AFib. The first inkling I did.
To new health concerns for California Senator Dianne Feinstein. The 90-year-old was briefly hospitalized after falling in her home. Senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott joins us now with the latest. Rachel, good morning.
Whit, good morning to you. Senator Dianne Feinstein is 90 years old. She is the oldest member of the U.S. Senate, and this morning sources say she is recovering after tripping and falling over a chair in San Francisco on Tuesday. Her office describing this as only a minor fall, saying that she was briefly hospitalized and then released once all of her scans were clear. But this is just the latest health scare. She spent 3 months away from Capitol Hill recovering from shingles, and then last month she appeared confused during a committee hearing, forced to rely heavily on her staff when it came time to cast her vote. And this is not the only incident that's raising concerns about the health and the age of U.S. senators. 81-year-old Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell suffered an episode just a few weeks ago, freezing at the microphones during a press conference. His office said that he was lightheaded. This is the oldest Senate in over 100 years. There are no age restrictions or term limits. And even though Feinstein is not running for re-election, some lawmakers are now saying that all needs to be reconsidered with.
And that conversation playing out on both sides of the aisle. But Rachel, while we have you, you are there in Iowa, and many of the Republican presidential hopefuls will be heading to the state later on for the state fair.
Yeah, nearly the entire Republican field is descending on Iowa for the all-important Iowa State Fair, including the frontrunner in this race, former President Donald Trump. The next several days will be absolutely critical in the lead up to that debate. Trump's rival is still struggling to close the gap with him, and it's unclear if the former president will take the debate stage.
Rachel Scott, thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that is it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on RK Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.